name is Claudia and I just graduated with a diploma. Ever since the last video, I started furthering my studies at a local university. But with COVID-19, can't help but wonder, what if my career just becomes meh? Is there any way that I can level it up? As an aspiring journalist, I thought I would dig deeper into this topic. Come join me on my journey as I speak to other youths and professionals to find out more. Hello everybody, thank you for joining this Zoom call. I know all of you are either graduating or have just started your job, but with the pandemic affecting the global economy and job opportunities, what are your biggest concerns?
A lot of us are finding it very difficult to get internships. A lot of my friends had internships that were suddenly cancelled and they just suddenly have to go back to school. For me personally, I got rejected from a couple of internships I applied to over summer. They didn't even reply me, so that was heartbreaking.
Not only are we competing with recent graduates, we are also competing with possibly retrenched adults because we just graduated and we want to do something that we really like and we've been studying for. So obviously passion is very important, but so is paycheck.
In the short term, I'm definitely concerned about not making enough money. In the long term, it's about finding the jobs that are going to give me the learning opportunities that will kind of propel my career in the long term.
I would definitely be less willing to move on for now. So I would definitely be happy to stay where I am. So let's say if I was thinking about moving on in the next 2 or 3 years, right? I think that timeline would have to shift backwards, right? Just because of how the market is right now, and we don't know how the market will develop in the future because of the pandemic, right? And I mean, I'm just happy to have a job.
Personally, for me, I'm quite thankful to still have a job. So some of the friends that I know or people in the community that I am in touch with, people are losing their jobs.
Wow, that's a lot of things on the hearts and minds of youth. Let me check in again with JL and Darlene of the Career Design Movement and the company My Working Title.
So for the last 2 videos, we brought to you 2 key competencies that you need to thrive. The ability to generate insights on yourself and the ability to generate possibilities of what's out there. Today's video, we're looking at the 3rd competency, which is decision making.
Sometimes decision making can be scary because there's so many unknowns and we're afraid to make mistakes. So how might we make good decisions?
Decision making entails exploring, evaluating, and making the actual decision.
The first step in using our career design model is to explore. You explore what's in you, meaning your strengths, your skills, your values, your motivators. What drives you? What do you really like to do? What problems are you interested in solving? And when you have this, you can explore what's out there. There might be a lot of industries that have been struggling because of the pandemic, but there are also a lot of industries that are thriving and growing. After you gather data in the exploration process, you can now evaluate your options using your own criteria.
Often when people make career decisions, their decision-making style leans heavily on logic and intuition. Logic meaning having the data, having a very logical thinking of this is a good job versus the other. And intuition, this is my gut feel. I think and I feel and I think this is the right job. Those are good things. Recent research has also shown that seeking advice from others, tapping on your spiritual beliefs and values have also been helpful in making career decisions.
I never actually thought of decision making like this. So then how do we make better decisions? To answer these questions, I spoke to a few specialists.
I'm Ryan Ang. I'm one of the career advisors at the Center for Future Ready Graduates.
My name is Genevieve. I am a careers advisor with the NUS Center for Future Ready Graduates.
Hi, my name is Shailaja. So I'm a talent and OD professional and I've been working for the past 20 years across Asia, and I do a lot of work supporting entry-level talent, mid-level talent, and of course senior management to grow and develop their careers.
Hello everyone, I'm Wee Tiong, the founder and CEO of JobTech.
My name is Andrew and I'm the country manager at Wantali Singapore.
Hi, I'm May, the senior marketing lead at Wantali.
Hi, my name is Louis. I run a social enterprise called Praxium.
We have some specialty in a certain area, but at the same time, we're trying to figure out if we actually like it because we are just starting to get into the industry. So our main concerns are is this the right path for me?
It starts with self-awareness, understanding what sort of, workplace values that they are prioritizing, what sort of subject matter industry they have interest in. Perhaps also understanding a little bit about their personalities and what might suit them, what skills they have that they like using, they're pretty good at, they might be motivated to look at developing, getting advice from people they look up to, right? Some of their seniors, some of their, or maybe even reaching out to alumni. Take a deep breath and just start somewhere, anywhere.
You do have to expose yourself to a certain set of things, at least to open your minds up a little bit. And once you have a few options available, then it's about taking some action, trying to get your hands dirty, whether it's picking up basic skill sets, going for one workshop or two to see whether it fits your fancy, and then after that, going further into that. Because a lot of times you might be only exposed to the industries we hear about, whether it's like medicine or healthcare or finance. These are very limited. So sometimes we might want to go out there and see what's available. For example, recently there are other things like UX design, which is something that I practice. There's things like data analytics. As people who might be interested to pursue arts, there's things like arts management as well. So there's all these other fields that are available, and it's important to put yourself out there, get out of school, get out of your comfort zone.
Immerse yourself through an internship or a part-time job in the industry to understand for yourself how is it like to work in this particular industry before you adopt somebody else's perspective.
I think a lot of my friends are going for what's available, right? So I think because of the government schemes, quite a few jobs open up. So I had a friend who recently took up a job, I think, with MOH. Right, it's not something that he studied for. It's not in his major, but it was available. It was a good opportunity, and it was something that fitted society's needs right now.
For a lot of our students, many of them still bear the mindset that their first job or their first career has to be very aligned to what they've studied or the kinds of experiences that they have accumulated in their 3 or 4 years in NUS. So what we do tell them is be open to opportunities. If a job that comes along that is offering you a role that may not be fully aligned to what you're really interested in or what you have acquired proficiencies or expertise in, take up the opportunity and use it as a platform to acquire new transferable skills, which will very well allow you to be pivoting to another future career in maybe a couple of years' time. You could very well be involved in a data analytics or data visualization role in a bank, and then switch to maybe a human resource role or even a business development role in the same company or in another company in the same industry in a couple of years' time.
I would say look for as wide a variety of industries as possible. And that's the other thing I see. Sometimes see people saying, I only want to work for pharmaceuticals or I don't want to work for manufacturing. I'm saying right now, explore as widely as possible. Look at different industries, and the nature of every company within an industry is also very different. So if in an FMCG you have Nestle, it operates very, very differently to Pepsi, which operates very, very differently to P&G.
Graduated with a computer science degree. I've never heard of JP Morgan. These are names that eludes me because of my experience, but JP Morgan hires a lot of data scientists, computer scientists, marketing executive, marketing specialists, and so on and so forth.
I would encourage job seekers to not be afraid or to shy away from internship roles or even maternity cover roles. Before Wantedly, I was at Discovery Networks Asia Pacific, and I joined them as a maternity cover. This was during the 1 year that I couldn't, secure a job. So the idea was that I wanted to get back in the game, even if it's just an 8-month contract role. I vowed to learn as much as I could during that time, and it's better than leaving the 8 months empty while I look for a proper full-time role, right?
We're going through a lot of crises in society. There are many problems that are out there. Any skill you pick up will be able to be useful in tackling some of these problems in society. If you take these skill sets and try to start a project, start an initiative, or perhaps join an existing one in order to apply some of these skill sets there, you will find yourself building a very great portfolio for yourself, and that itself will open doors for you.
Where can we find information about companies who are hiring?
Now, Wantedly, we have over 2,200 companies on our platform. We have companies that are familiar names, such as Grab, such as SGAG, such as Singtel. We also have companies that perhaps belong to your more local heroes category. They are SMEs or even early stage homegrown startups. It's a two-way street because when you are on Wantedly, all these companies can also scout for you.
We encourage the companies to involve as many members as possible. This is because it gives an insight into the organization's culture and identify potential teammates and get to know them and their work ahead of the interview. So one example is that they talk about team diversity, they talk about what they do for fun, they talk about what they believe as a company. Equality and diversity is obviously something that they play a huge part in the organization. So, and this is what we meant by matching values and mission. Do you stand for the same thing?
What factors should I consider when making career decisions?
Do I settle for a job that pays more but I learn less, or you learn more but you get lesser pay?
I graduated in a very difficult situation back in 1999, the first Asian financial crisis. And what I remember from that experience was it allowed me to focus a lot more on what I really wanted in terms of my career choices, instead of taking a while to wait for the ideal opportunity to come. Because frankly speaking, no one can really tell you when your ideal job will come along. It's all about timing and also the state of the economy, which is not very good currently.
Try and understand what are your motivators and drivers, what drives you, and then how pay fits into all of that. And look at it as an equation, not as a zero-sum game. Everybody wants to do the least amount of work for the most amount of money, right? So make your own educated understanding about what really drives you, and then look at if that pay works for you. If I look at it from a very pragmatic lens, right now it's a buyer's market in the sense that there are much fewer jobs and many more people applying for it. Then that's a choice you need to make. Are you okay with being unemployed and not expecting a certain level of salary, or are you okay being employed, learning something, having something on your resume, and working in a job which you may decide to change at a later point of time? That's a call everybody needs to make on their own. My advice would be go for a job, pick up as many skills, get experience on your resume, and later if you like it, great. If you don't like it, look for something else.
Today, right, the job tech platform encounters actually 100,000 live jobs in the market, and whether you're willing to go for in a short term some kind of traineeship pay, should expect some kind of dip in the salary. Are there any skills adjacencies from these profiles where we can essentially transit you to another career that is actively hiring?
Your North Star, your checklist. It would be helpful to include in this checklist some must-haves, some good-to-haves, and also any deal breaker. Like if this thing is not in place, it's something that I cannot accept. This checklist should also consider your values, because at the end of the day, values is what keep you going. Values is what provides that intrinsic motivation. You don't know what you don't know. So if you don't give yourself a chance to try, you won't get to learn more. You won't get to develop.
This has been such an eye-opener. I'm so glad that I'm learning all of this now so I can start practicing how to make wise decisions. Here's what I've learned. I've learned that I can create a checklist of must-haves, good-to-haves, and deal breakers. This will help me filter out which jobs are more suitable. I can explore different fields and industries that I previously may not have considered. I can test it out by joining workshops or doing an internship stint. Even if the opportunities don't check all my boxes, I can still go for it, as it can help open more doors for what I want to do in the future. You can check out this link for more free resources to help you on your career journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with your friends. I'll see you next time. Bye!